What is up, you guys? It's James from James Reptiles, and today we're going to be talking about crested geckos and more specifically tanks versus tubs. Now, I believe Emily from Snake Discovery did a video like this quite a while back. I don't think I watched that video, but I'll probably link it down below if I can figure out how, just so everyone can see her opinion. And I know she's popular, I'm sure everyone wants to see her opinion. But without seeing that and without knowing her opinion, I'm going to tell you my opinions. And just everything I've seen in the hobby throughout, specifically to crested geckos. Now let's start out with the glass cages, because I have one right here. Now this right here, this male, his name is Skipper, and he's lived in a glass enclosure his whole life, as long as I've had him at least. Glass enclosures are awesome. Crested geckos can stick to the glass really easy. They're vented on top, it's a screen. Personally, pardon me. Personally, I cover half the screen to help keep a little bit of that humidity in. I find if you cover half of it with I use like a tarp material, it just perfect amount of humidity. I spray every other day, I spray a little heavy, and it works great for me. The glass is easy to clean. Now it does get dirty. They do poop on the glass. It does get dirty not fairly fast, but faster than tubs, and we'll get into that. But it's easy to clean because it's easy to see what's dirty. And a downside is they're actually really heavy. I almost dropped one the other day, but to save the tank, I threw my knees out. And if you know that story, my knees are scout from rug burn. It's easy to stick suction cups to a glass tank, and they don't get knocked around as much because they're nice and heavy. Now, a con is glass tanks are a bit more expensive, but they're really nice to display an animal. Like this is really nice display. Obviously, crested geckos hide a lot, so you're not going to see them very often. But you know, they come with these awesome backgrounds, and personally, for my adults, I prefer glass tanks. These are 18 by 18 by 24 Exoterras. And let me get out a tub and we'll talk about tubs. Now, quite frankly, for babies, I really like tubs. If you have a lot of babies, if you're producing animals, you have a lot of babies, and if you have a lot of babies, you have a lot of tubs. That can add up really quickly. For glass tanks, they're really expensive in decor and all of that. So tubs are cheap, they're easy to take apart and wash and take all the plants out when you're ready, or when you sell some geckos. And without suction cups, I just zip tie plants through a couple of the air holes and just a little magnetic dish. One thing I do not like about tubs is the geckos don't seem to be able to grip the side as well. Now if you take a gecko from a glass tank and put it in a tub, it won't know how to climb the glass for a little bit. And honestly, when I have geckos in a tub, I make sure the vines reach the bottom in a couple different spots, because you won't see them climbing the side of the tub very often. And a lot of that depends on the material. I've seen them do it for some tubs, but for these like flimsier ones, not a chance. And then again, if you take them out of a tub and put them in a glass enclosure, I've seen it take them a couple of days to understand how to climb again. Another disadvantage of a tub is you can't really see what's going on in there. Like you can kind of see, but it's not good for display. It's good for keeping quantities, and that's what babies are, they're quantity, because you may have 2 adults, but you probably have 10 or 15 babies. I find that tubs, I don't want to put eco-earth in the bottom of a tub, because it never works out right. It gets really moldy. I don't have that issue with glass enclosures. So I don't really, in smaller tubs, I keep paper towels on the bottom. Of these big tubs, I don't. Every time I feed, I just drain the excess water out and I wipe down whatever I need to. But that being said, glass tanks. I had 3 geckos housed in this one for, gosh, 8 months. And before that, it was, you know, however long before they were cleaned, and I just changed out the dirt for the first time. I've cleaned the glass 2 or 3 times since that, but I just cleaned out the dirt. So there's a lot more maintenance on this one. Again, this one has the front doors, easy to reach in and grab. This one's the top. I know a lot of people don't enjoy the top because it might stress the animal, it might make them feel like it's a predator. That being said, I don't see that with crested geckos just because they're so nonchalant. But if you're going to keep an adult in a tub, make sure you keep weight on it, because adults will be able to like push the top up, and or get one that has really nice clamps. I have one of these with these kind of flimsy lids, and I don't find babies getting out of them ever, but it's something to be aware of. Now, these are really great grow out tubs. I see them get good size in here, and when they're probably about 20 to 25 grams, I'll throw them in one of these glass enclosures and it works great. Now, another thing to keep in mind is I haven't been breeding crested geckos for very long. It's been less than a year since I actually got, well no, it's been over a year since I got my first one. It's been about 2 years. It's been less than a year since I got any more than that and started breeding. But I enjoy it, and these are just some tips I've learned. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, tubs, in my opinion, work great for babies, but for if you have one breeding pair or two breeding pair, I really recommend putting them in glass enclosures. It just works better as a keeper, and it feels like I'm doing less work. Alright, so I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned a little something. There aren't any reptile shows for a while coming up. Well, there are. There's not any that I'm going to, whether it's because I don't really have the money to go to it or vend it at that point. I don't see it being profitable going to some of the ones coming up. Like there's one that's half comic book convention, half reptile convention. And from what I've heard, it's mainly just comic books. Not a lot of people go for the reptiles, and I'm not gonna pay $100 for a booth, you know, waste my Saturday and my Sunday out there, and that's a day of work. Saturday I do work. So it's just not worth it to me if I'm probably not gonna make my money back. But that gives me the chance to grow out a lot of geckos for the Daily City show, which is February, the very beginning of February. And hopefully I can sell a couple things before then and help thin out my collection and get me some money to get that show together. I really want to start putting just animal money in. You know, I have a lot of animals that are breeding size. I have animals that are just about breeding size. I want to be able to sell more, and part of that I think is going to be shipping. Now I have a lot of lower end crested geckos left over. You know, I sold some nice ones. I picked my keepers. I have some lower end ones left over. It's kind of hard to find buyers for those. I'm probably going to post some on Facebook. I posted a couple and I didn't get too many bites, and I posted some leopard geckos and there wasn't too much interest. I'm not sure if I'm posting in the wrong groups. I've had interest before in certain animals. I'm not really sure what that is, but I will keep trying. I'm just trying not to look desperate, because when you look desperate, no one's going to want to buy your animals, and if they do, they expect you to give them a really cheap price. They want them for dirt. So, nevertheless, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I'm out here hustling every day of the week. You guys get a video. I hope some people, if you're subscribed, tell your friends, let them know what's up. Share it with someone. Leave a like, comment. It all helps out the channel. Post notifications really helps out because it makes you come back and it makes you want to watch more. So anyway, I'm James from James Jeptiles. You can hit me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, jamesjeptiles@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, and enjoy and have a good day.